military drills around Taiwan in what Beijing is calling a stern warning to Taipei.
The training, which includes rehearsing an encirclement of the island nation, is being closely watched by the US State Department. Let's bring in international security expert Professor John Blaxland. Good morning to you, Professor. This seems to be a very aggressive message that China is sending to the world.
Yeah, it's definitely sending a message to Taiwan and the world, and particularly to the United States. It follows on the heel of Emmanuel Macron's visit to China, in which he's basically tried to distance himself from the United States. It is an unnerving challenge, and it's a very interesting contrast to what happened in the mid-1990s and early 2000s, where the United States felt free to actually assert itself with the US Navy in the Taiwan Strait. It would have pushed itself into this situation. That's not the situation today. Today, the Taiwanese Navy is actually doing the confronting with the Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy in the Taiwan Strait itself, right near the line of demarcation. So this is a significant escalation, but one that I'm reasonably confident is not going to go much beyond that for now, because this is all about posturing. This is about messaging, about intimidation, and gradually ratcheting up the pressure on the people, on the Republic of China, Taiwan, to make concessions, to stop meeting with the Americans, and for the Americans to stop meeting with them.
Regardless, that posturing does cause a bit of tension. How concerned should we be about this level of tension, especially so close in the South China Sea?
Yeah, thanks, Clint. There's no question. It's deeply worrying, because this is exactly the kind of precursor action that could be the lead-in to an actual invasion. So there's real concern that the idea of this kind of drill around Taiwan is actually conditioning the people of Taiwan to get used to not anticipate the actual blow that might come in future, because they think, oh, it's just another drill. You know, cry wolf too many times, and you'll get ignored, and you'll pull away, you pull over your stunt will work. You know, effectively.
So, well then, how close could China be to actually trying to take Taiwan?
So I think, the physical in terms of capability and intent, intelligence analysis is basically brought down into those two categories. Capability-wise, they're close. They're not quite there in terms of assuring what they want. In terms of intent, I would suggest that the rhetoric is ratcheting up, but I don't think substantively that's likely. One of the things that people tend to forget is, if we were to talk about a war over Taiwan, the United States would have to get neutralized first. Now, arguably, that's happening politically with the internal reactions inside the United States and their distractions with the war in Ukraine. So that's one indicator that would suggest that maybe capability-wise they're in a strong position. But others would argue that if China, the People's Liberation Army, was to want to be successful, they would have to try and neutralize the United States in Korea, in Japan, in Guam, in Hawaii, and possibly in Australia. And if you get to do that, you're talking World War III. And so that's not realistic in terms of what China wants or what China is expected to try and achieve. There's too much at stake for China to go there. It's much better for them, in terms of their strategy, to continue to gradually intimidate, wear down Chinese resolve, wear down Chinese ability, Taiwan ability to resist People's Liberation Army forces from mainland China. So I'm anticipating this being something that we'll probably see repeated in the coming months and years. As I say, ratcheting up the pressure, wearing down the Taiwanese, and also intimidating further the neighbours in Japan, Southeast Asia, the United States, and of course Australia too. This is a mind game.
It's all very uncomfortable to watch so close to home as well. John Blaxland, thanks so much for your time.